This program contains edited language and graphic imagery. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm Robert McNeil. Welcome to an America at a Crossroads special.
You're in the Army now.
If I don't come back, nobody's gonna really know how I felt.
He told me, if anything happens to me within 24 hours, you'll know.
These people are seeing the American flag, bringing supplies to them.
You should have seen their eyes. They're just shocked that there was a female who was flying.
Everybody has one function only, to launch these pieces of iron into the sky. And you gotta deliver.
Every mission is dangerous, inherently dangerous.
Let's go get him. Let's take it to him. Okay, this is where it gets ugly, boys.
Funding for America at a Crossroads was provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
One feature of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan has been the demands made on the reserves and National Guard. Regular forces in the all-volunteer U.S. Army and Marine Corps have been stretched to the limit, so there have been repeated and extended deployments of civilian soldiers who have borne much of the fighting. With the current troop buildup in Baghdad and a renewed Taliban spring offensive in Afghanistan, those demands are unlikely to decrease. That puts special strains on families who interrupt civilian lives for long periods. After heavy combat experience, the strain of resuming family life or readjusting to the civilian work world is enormous. And after they have readjusted, they may be called upon to go back to Iraq or Afghanistan. This film, Kansas to Kandahar, intimately explores both sides of that stressful life as it follows one Army Reserve helicopter unit into war and back.
It's all yours, man. Tug driver.
Yes.
Whoever it is.
Right here.
Run with it.
I need some more people.
What's that?
A couple more people.
Well, we got a couple more people. Anybody on the brakes? You're not at the beach this weekend, huh? No. No San Antonio or wherever all the big action? It's just you and Dwayne slumming it, huh?
Me and Dwayne.
Okay.
The men and women of Bravo Company, 7th Battalion, 158th Aviation Regiment, U.S. Army Reserves, are preparing to go to war. These reservists are civilians. Just over 36 of them are civilian employees of their military base outside Olathe, Kansas.
Bob Lane, you pussy.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you look bad just so I can say you can't park.
Some have careers ranging from farmers to federal marshals, students to sheet metal workers.
Oh, you missed it.
They are medevac pilots, computer programmers, small businessmen.
Hey, it's good that your tech guy, can't park right.
Yeah, I'm gonna agitate him a little bit before your ride starts. Okay, come around.
Half the unit has already served over a year in Iraq.
Good.
Now, 15 months later, 1/3 of those have volunteered for another deployment to Afghanistan.
You know, set them brakes, right?
This is the story of their mission.
It's hard to grow an aviation company from the ground up in a hurry because of the skills that we have to have and the jobs that these people do.
When I first started flying 714,
A lot of these people have worked together for many, many years. They work in the facility, it's their job, it's their profession. I oversee everything, I don't know how to fix an engine, but it's my job. I don't know how to, drive all the trucks and the tankers and do everybody's, but it's still my job, it's still my responsibility to make it happen.
so I'm not going to pound you on 712 limits or 712.
Captain Doyle Riley is one of Bravo Company's instructor pilots and runs its flight operations full-time.
I'd really like you to flush all that stuff.
Ever since I was a little kid, I either wanted to be a fireman or an aviator. That's all I've ever wanted to do.
I'm sorry?
You got a screw stick on you?
I've got cousins that were in the Army, a brother that's in the Army. Family bloodline, I guess. I was wanting to go active duty and didn't get the opportunity, so I went and did some things on the civilian side and spent a year in flight school. Once I got my commission, if I didn't get active duty, I had to join the reserves and give them at least 6 years. The day I got picked up from the airport from Iraq, coming back from Iraq in May of '04, driving home, I had my kids, my wife, and my mom in the car, and I told them, I said, the chance of me having to go back is pretty high. I don't want to talk about it, you know, because it's not a definite, but I wanted to prepare my family, and, you know, now it's around the corner. Around March, my commander came to me and said, "Are you in or you're out?" And I said, "I'm in."
Okay. Well, they're getting ready to go, so we'll see. They'll be out early before we are. We're going to be a while before we go.
Well, I'll think of that.
We have to have 3 people to fly the machine. There's always 2 pilots required in the front. Can't do anything without the 2 pilots. At least 1 flight engineer in the back, because there's certain things in the back that they have to do that we can't do, and there's certain procedures and checks that they have that we can't back them up on.
Up in front.
This will get loud when they get ready to go. Watch out for your hats.
Brigade commander, to whom I'm going overseas with, is in this weekend to get a snapshot picture of the unit and its capabilities. The route takes all the way to Fort Riley.
What is that, about 200 miles?
Yeah, 2 hours. 2 hours and 7 minutes, I believe.
That's kind of the routes we want to simulate flying, because that's what you'll be doing in Afghanistan. But we don't want to in any way ever become predictable over there.
Absolutely.
Because that's when we're setting ourselves up.
We took the colonel along so that he could just get a snapshot in time of what an average training flight for us entails. I think he was fairly impressed. Didn't have any negative comments. I didn't get yelled at, so I guess that's good.
Let me sneak by it, everybody. Moving. We're coming through with a bunch of folks, so don't trip anybody. You still here, Martin?
Yep. You're finished with your hepatitis A series. The hepatitis B series, you got your first injection back in March of '04. It's a 3-part series.
Don't stop. Just go ahead and take one. I'm sitting there flopping around like a fish.
Be a little bit hard. Straighten your arm out as straight as you can get it.
It's okay,
It's like
Todd.
spin drill.
Just gonna put a little needle in your arm. Take some little needle. You're gonna be okay, Todd. Just calm down, Todd. Take a deep breath. You'll be okay. You're not going to pass out, Todd. Hey, Todd, look over here. You're all right. Come down a little bit. There's a needle in your arm right now. Can you take some more blood from her?
So I think you did a fine.
Yeah, you did too.
Thank you.
Good job. That's
Good
job.
job.
Good job.
You did good, man. I'm proud of you.
Going Friday to get my wisdom teeth inked out before the Army does it.
That's a good idea.
They don't put you out.
A bottle of whiskey and a hammer.
That and a tube of blood and we'll be done. There's always some anxiety. I'm taking, you know, quite a large number of people over there, and bottom line is the responsibility is mine. And I know a lot of them personally. I know their families. I know their wives, their parents, their kids, because of the way the aviation community in the reserves is structured and for how long they've been around. So yes, I do have some anxiety about it all.
We're glad to do it. You know, I totally believe in the cause over there, and I totally believe in what we're doing. You know, the media said, oh, what if we're going to bring our porn over there? But it's not about that. It's about the choices that we're able to make. Like, you know, they deserve a chance to go to McDonald's, you know, freely, without worrying about being blown up. And that's what I think, you know, no matter what the excuse is while we're there, that's the opportunity I want to give people.
Especially with Afghanistan. I mean, I'm proud of him that he's going to be going over there and doing what he's going to be doing. We're really proud of him.
I really get emotional when we start really thinking about it.
Yeah.
I feel that it's an honor to serve my country and to help everyone over there that needs help. I think it's great that what we're doing for the people of Afghanistan, and I just basically want to help as much as I can to just basically my part, do my part.
Our shores were penetrated, our people were killed, in an unprovoked act of war against defenseless citizens and defenseless targets. There's something very wrong with that scenario. So I firmly believe we have to take it to them so that they don't come back and do it again, because if we don't, they're coming back.
You're about to take the Army Physical Fitness Test. A test that will measure your muscular endurance and cardiorespiratory fitness. The results of this test will give you and your commanders an indication of the state of fitness and will act as a guide in determining your physical training needs. All right, first event will be the push-up event.
I didn't want to go active duty. I said, well, just give me something with some cool college money or something, And he said, well, you want to work on airplanes? They've got these guys over here that, work on helicopters real close to where you live. I said, yeah, sure. There's the bottom 4 ranks before you get into the sergeants and leadership type stuff, I'm at the top of that, so I'm at the highest level I can be with the least amount of responsibility.
Well, going through high school, I was never prepared for college or anything like that, so I just decided, well, maybe the military might be something, teach me something. I had no idea what I wanted to do in life, and just let the Army pick what I should be doing, and just so happened I enjoy it.
I've always wanted to be a pilot since my grandfather says knee high to a grasshopper. And so this would be an opportunity for me to get the flight training experience through the Army flying helicopters. We all know it's very expensive to do on the civilian side. So to serve your country and be trained and doing something that you love sounded great.
40, get up.
I don't have children yet, so that's another reason I thought, well, I might as well get this deployment out of the way so I can come home and, me and my wife can start having kids.
One more.
Come on, man.
Pump that shit. Get up. There you go.
We continue to receive new equipment. We continue with our maintenance activities. We're continuing with our modification for the aircraft for overseas movement. We probably have 90% solution on that. I've got 9 of my aircraft here that are going with me, and we continue to put those new modifications on board.
What am I looking for?
Crossroad lead band.
What the hell is that?
This thing is a greasy mess. Vern, you're killing me here, man.
I wouldn't lean on that.
Well, I ain't got no choice, because I want to know if there's oil in the engine or if it's dry, too.
Check it on the other side.
Jeez.
It's mind-boggling the amount of equipment that it takes to maintain this unit. If we had to take everything, it would be a nightmare. You're talking over 60 trucks and all other equipment, whereas now we're just taking the equipment to maintain the aircraft.
With 153, we don't have room for the blades, so I don't know what they want to do with them.
First time we went on a boat, and we could just load the boat right there at the port, and it ended up in theater. Well, we don't have that opportunity now. Everything's being airlifted in, so we're limited on space. So you got to prioritize what you're going to take based off the mission you think you're going to do, based off of talking to the people who are currently there and what they're doing.
We've got the experience and the expertise and the people here to do it. And it's chaos right now, but it'll all come together.
What am I going to do at home? Do I need to get the house painted? Do I need to, do I need to sell this car and get my wife a better car so I shouldn't have to worry about it? I think we've got that pretty much ironed out. Live in a great community here. I've lived here for, 20, 25 years.
He's involved in aviation and flies helicopters. He's my favorite neighbor.
One and only.
I say we live in the best community we could have for the situations that we get ourselves into. My neighbor across the street I went to high school with. My neighbor behind me I went to high school with. My neighbor up the street, both of them I went to high school with. My daughter's best friends up the other street, went to high school with her dad.
really big stone. Isn't that awesome?
Fourth of a day's drive, and you could be at most of our families' homes.
Well, when you talk to him, tell him it's at night.
You bet. You bet. He would say the same to you.
My wife being a school teacher, and I get quite involved with the school, so I've got a lot of the youth in the community that come over and shovel the drive when they get snow on it or mow the yard.
We went to high school together and dating our senior year. And actually, we met at a basketball game. He was new to Kearney. He didn't move here till our freshman year. And I've lived here all my life. So I just walked up and introduced myself our freshman year. And we were friends through high school, and then we started dating our senior year.
It's a hard sell to the family, knowing I'm going to be boots in sand for a year. And prior to that, I'm going to be out of the house for 4 months. I didn't have time to react the first time. I had 2 days to get my wills and powers of attorney and all my, financial well-being and right in line. I had 2 days to do that. Now I've had 6 months to ponder, and it's a heavy burden, but part of the job. Part of the job. The hardest people hit by it were the people left behind. That's the hardest job of the whole deployment thing, is the families left at home.
Who's not here? Leslie and Boydston aren't here. Where's you look at?
The days of people straggling in whenever you feel like getting to formation like just happened are over. Everybody got it? Yes, any part of that you don't understand? You're in the Army now. You'll get the big picture real quick. Uniforms, looks, appearance, haircuts, mustaches, being in formation, being at the right time, the right place. Get yourself in the right mindset. We'll be departing for Fort Sill on the 9th of October. We'll be down there for our train up. And the departure date from out of there is still up in the air. I don't know yet. I don't have any accurate information. As far as the weekend goes, Family Day today. The people that do employee support of the Guard and Reserve will be here. We'll have JAG officer here for a JAG briefing. We'll have several lawyers here that are going to do the wills and the power of attorneys for you folks that requested those when I handed out those documents. Individual mobilization orders are out. By the time you leave tomorrow, it's my goal to have them in your hands so that you can start doing things like taking them to your employer and worrying about your lease and your house and your mortgage and your credit card. It'll cover quite an extensive period of time. Next month's drill is going to be like the first and the second. That's when we're going to make the split, and the guys going overseas are going to do what they need to do, and the guys that are going to run the facility and stay behind are going to do what they need to do. Does anybody have any questions for me? Family members or anybody else? First Sergeant.
Company! 2. Attention! 2 sergeants, take charge of 2, stay through training.
He was in Iraq for about 14 months, but he was gone from home almost 17 months. So the beginning of his deployment after he went to Iraq was the worst. He didn't have email. We talked to him maybe once a month, if
once
that.
Every 2 months.
Yeah, sometimes once every 2 months. We got letters, but those were, coming so slow, and he didn't have any internet. I mean, we didn't have any contact whatsoever, sometimes for a month.
My wife was pregnant and we're due in February. It is a boy that was getting A's. I just want to make sure that all the paperwork is filled out properly so that I know he has a future if something were to happen to me.
Where do you want your property to go? To your wife in the event of your death? Is that who, your spouse? And then to your children in equal shares if she predeceases you? Or do you want part to go to your children, part to go to your wife?
But when I can have comfort.
Well, I will tell you for easy, if you trust your wife, the best thing to do is to send it all to your spouse, because that way she has full control over that for the benefit of your children. She needs to be aware that in the event she remarries, that she has to do a prenuptial agreement or take legal steps.
You're leaving your property too. And then if she's not able to leave the executor, who would you like that to be? In charge of the trust that was set up for that.
So whatever you think is the best.
I would probably say just my wife.
Okay.
You gotta learn to be an
JCQUE?
Yes, ma'am.
When he was gone before, he told me, he said, if anything happens to me, then within 24 hours, you'll know. And so if there was ever the doorbell ring or a knock on the door at a time we didn't know somebody was coming, my heart would just drop. And I thought, oh my God. But nope, we never got that call. So you just live it day to day.
I do very much believe in what we're doing, and I tell the young troops that. And you know, I've got two jobs. One is to accomplish the mission, and to get it all done, everything we can to make sure it's done, you know, safely, professionally, and the other is to bring them all home. And that's really a focus that you know, that I dwell on it a lot.
On October 8, 2005, just as Bravo Company was mobilizing to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, a massive earthquake hit northern Pakistan, killing over 70,000 people.
Well, Sunday afternoon, I was talking to my wife on the phone, and she mentioned something about the earthquake in Pakistan. I thought, no, sounds neat. She said, well, they said something about sending some Army aircraft to help, and I was like, yeah, they usually do. By Monday night, everybody was briefed on what was going on.
Hey, Chief.
Been sitting there all day.
We've been told we can't accept your bags because they don't fit.
The mission changed last week that we're actually going to fulfill our Afghan mission like we had, but we're just going to be diverted in transit to do disaster relief.
Got the call that evening. I've been reacting ever since. So, been a little busy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would have been nice to have a little bit more time to work collectively as a unit. But, you know, duty calls. Put it out to some troops, and the excitement level and the motivation level went through the roof because we don't have to spend 117 days at Fort Sill doing training.
I didn't believe it because on the last deployment, it was pretty fun to start a rumor here and there and then see how long it takes to get back to you and see how it's changed and stuff. So we said, you know, oh, we're leaving in 6 weeks. And nobody told us anything. We started telling them, oh, did you guys hear we're leaving in 6 weeks? 4 hours later, they're like, hey, did you guys hear we're leaving in like 2 weeks? And I thought it was just my own rumor getting back to me. I was like, no, that's funny, you know, I can't believe it. And then somebody's like, no, seriously, we're really leaving. The commander said we're going.
We were flying the aircraft to Lawton Airport. They were tearing them down at Lawton Airport, putting them on C-5s.
United, bring some more tools so we can get started on the other 3 aircrafts we got down there.
All right. If you, yeah, I mean, you know, you guys are the maintenance smart ones. I'm staying in my lane, staying out of your way. If you need something, I get it.
They got about 45 minutes left in their timeline to get that stuff off, and then we got a hump. We got no time today.
Maybe I'll jump on that.
Give them a hand.
We're fully prepared to execute the Chinook mission wherever they send us. It speeded up the process a little bit, and it'll require that I take a few pieces of equipment that I wouldn't have taken on the original mission, which is, you know, something we're prepared to adjust to. I just need to identify it and get it.
Now we get the message or the word that we now have to take every piece of equipment that we own. That's 14 fuelers and, you know, I think 11 big trucks and miscellaneous Humvees. But we can't stop what we're doing to go get it.
We're going to need extra aircraft parts, obviously, because we're going somewhere where there's not already a supply point. But we got to take care of the troops too, so we need tents, heaters, field sanitation equipment, a way to feed them, light sets for maintenance, generators, water purification, I can show you my list. it's several lists, a lot of scratch marks on it. If we're going to take big trucks into Pakistan, the logistics of getting that big equipment across the mountains is beyond our capability. They're going to have to find another method to get them in there.
Got it?
You know, and the military's a lot smarter than I am. They've got it all figured out, I'm sure.
42 regular in here. Every soldier here packed for one mission.
46 long? Yes. And I got 50 long.
50? Now we're going to an austere location.
Oh, 52 regular. I mean,
Winter coming on in Himalayas.
let me check what I got in here still, okay?
I mean, the Army's doing the best they can. You know, we came down here and they were anticipating fielding us our equipment, you know, staggered over the next 117 days.
Two regular.
When we sprung this on them, they had to react just like we are, and they're doing the best they can.
You gonna take charge of these parts, or are you gonna let him finish up?
I'll let him finish up. I was just looking to see what parts I was damaged so I can tell the other.
He's giving me a list. I need to turn this in before lunch.
The reserve or guard community has not been tasked with stopping, changing directions from a wartime mission, tear down a Chinook company, put it on aircraft to transport overseas in 5 days, and get that done with the entire company.
We're not ahead of schedule, but we're not behind schedule. We'll be ready for the C5s on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You can put 3 Chinooks in a C5, but they've opted to put 2 in each one.
It's gonna be difficult. We're going to the base of the Himalayas. The tallest mountain in the world is 400 or 500 miles away. I couldn't even tell you what it looks like over there because I haven't seen the news in a week. So it's not really a worry as much more. It's more of a, small concern.
A lot of the guys that haven't done it before are nervous, but I'm ready to go. I'm excited. It's gonna be a little different going to Pakistan rather than just going straight to Afghanistan and just doing maintenance and stuff like that. Hopefully we'll get a little more personal interaction with the local community. I mean, I don't know how it's gonna work, but that'd be nice.
The next airplane that shows up, we're loading list number 2. The next one that shows up after that, list number 3 goes. So if the Air Force says this was our 5th plane that was scheduled, we don't care. If that's the 2nd plane in, 2nd list goes. 3rd plane, 3rd list goes. Whatever they call theirs, our unit integrity stays together because that's the flow we want on the other end.
Take care.
Be safe. All right, here comes the bus, boys.
I'm going out Wednesday. I'm the last airplane out. My commander's going out first, and I'm the last guy out pushing everybody out the door.
We would have had a going away ceremony. We would have brought the families down. Now all of a sudden we're switching gears and we're on the go.
They'll be there waiting for you.
See you guys.
So now we can't do the family goodbye thing, but it's our job. We know and we've got to go.
All right, roll call. Listen up.
I didn't forget you.
Eddie's in the back. Giles Allen. Tony Pateau. Jeff Bivens. Sir, you're on here.
I thought I was gonna have Thanksgiving and Christmas, so I didn't really get to say my goodbyes because if I don't come back, then nobody's gonna really know how I felt. They're not gonna get all the tears out that they wanted to and things like that. So
I gave her the phone call. I got the good news and the bad news. What do you want first? And I told her the bad. She wanted the bad news. I said I'm leaving very quickly, but I should be home earlier. So same thing. Silence on the phone, and and she's like, okay. I didn't want him to come down because I couldn't guarantee him that I would have the time to offer him, and saying goodbye once is hard enough. I don't want to do it twice in the same week.
You're gonna come up here and hand your ID card to me and then step on the scale with all your bags. Then once you're done, you go in that room there and no one can leave until everyone's through.
Okay. Now, the same bus is outside. He's going to take us wherever we're going, I guess.
We just found out about a month ago that she was pregnant. So she's like 8 or 9 weeks now. I can't remember. 8.5 weeks, 8 weeks, 3 days, something like that. But it's a boy. I know it's a boy. Well, of course they can't tell it, but I just know. I just got that feeling, you know. I mean, it's really bad timing, but moving up the deployment thing came along, so hopefully they'll start our time sooner, so I'll be able to get home a little bit sooner and won't miss the first Christmas.
Never missed a Christmas from them. That's going to be the worst part, missing a Christmas with my kids, with my family.
It was really hard for the girls and I, but I think it's harder on him. He has a really hard time with the farewells. When it's time for him to go, he has a really hard time. And the girls and I kind of get to go on about our lives, you know, but he is kind of lives it every day.
I love you too, and take care of the boys, take care of yourself. And okay, and I'll see you in, I don't know, 13, 14, 15 months, something like that. Take care. Love you. All right, bye.
PKT's on rise, going through about almost 500. Oil pressure's on the rise already. 50% oil pressure in the green. I have no transmission oil pressure on anything. Josh?
Out of home station in Kansas, we went through Fort Sill in 7 days.
Okay, guys, coming backwards. Clear back right. Clear back in the rear.
We came into Rota, Spain with our equipment on C-5 aircraft, transloaded those over to C-17, got it into Afghanistan, then self-deployed into Pakistan, and we were fully operational in under 28 days.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to the active? Yeah. Okay, come on up another 20, throwing that bonus point third. Make a dust. Come on back. Come in left, nose left. That's clear left. Jump to right. Holy smoke.
When we hit the ground in Pakistan, we were flying the next day.
There you go. 70%, we're good. We'll get down here, we'll do a 10 foot and see exactly what we weigh. Yep.
It's quite challenging, especially coming from Flatlands, USA, going to 10, 12, 13, 14,000 feet.
We suffer by traffic to Navi Flight 2's 2CH-47s for level 3,000, transitioning for the Neelam Valley.
Every aviator learns about how altitude affects performance. Higher altitudes, the air is less dense up there. Engines don't perform as well. Rotor blades lose lift. When you lose lift, you fall out of the sky.
Navi Flight 2, 2CH-47s, we're currently in the landslide. That's like a fine talcum-looking powder on the side of the mountain. But it wasn't originally like that. That's a direct result of the earthquake. And what happened was there were homes over there. And when the earthquake occurred, it just calved off the entire side of that mountain and it caved in. You can see where it's actually blocked off the river. Those slides came down and just completely wiped out the side of that mountain. There were houses peppered all over that hillside that obviously are buried in rubble. You can see this is where the fault line came right through. This is why a lot of the damage occurred here. You can see right there where that mountain came down and took out the road, just completely wiped it out. And that's to the point now they can't get supplies up into a lot of these places. How high are we going up now? The LZ's not high, but we got to go over a mountain, which is over a pin. Okay.
Get above 10,000, above 12,000, your speech starts to slur. Your lips turn blue. Quick under your fingernails turns purple. Color vision goes. You're fixating on a specific point out there. You lose coordination. Start making dumb decisions.
18 minutes to our LZ. Roger, 18 minutes.
Above 12,000 feet. I start to keep an eye on my guys sitting next to me or in the back, make sure that everybody's, you know, making sense of what they're saying. And if they're not, you got to get to a lower altitude.
How's our passengers doing? They look to be doing just great. Is it cold? A little bit. Turn the heater on, we get on the ground after we unload. Okay.
Above 12, you can only go 30 minutes without oxygen. At this point, we don't have it. We don't have oxygen.
Coming down. Okay. 3 minutes out, and I gotta lose about 3,000 feet, so we should be on a good approach. Come left. Got him. Coming left. Stay left. At our 9 o'clock right now and low. Does get a little bumpier up here, doesn't it? It's not bad, but it would be if we had 50,000 pounds. That may be true. So we're coming right. Alright. I want to extend out a little bit because I still got some altitude to lose. Okay. 50 knots. 300 feet a minute, getting my power in. P4 200 down. 50. One coming right, nose back left. There you go. 65% looking good. Perfect, right in there. Continue forward 100, down 25. Forward 75. Down 20. Slide right 5. Take it as far forward. 3, 2, 1. That's good right there. Continue forward 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And go down right. And off. 4, 3, 2, 1. After your contact. Before your contact. Make sure nobody runs into the right quadrant of the forward blades. Okay, flight control on neutral, LCT's getting the ground. You got 2 lights in the rear.
We're spending our time and donations from around the world to take supplies to them so they can live on their own. The cities aren't infrastructurally built to handle the influx of refugees. And winter's coming, you know, it snows 45 feet up in the mountains, so they know what's coming. And it's December 7th now, and they say the mid-December is when the snowfall starts coming.
Look out for about traffic. This now be flight 2CH-47, level 4,500, just north of the city, exiting the Leland Valley for Musafirabad. Put me on point 21.8, please.
Every officer, including myself, wants to fly all the time, but there's other duties that need to be done as an officer. This week, I'm the liaison officer working at Muzaffarabad Airport. Basically, a liaison between the United Nations, the Pakistan military, the U.S. military. We coordinate, you know, what landing zones are going to go to, what they're going to haul. Tents, food. We're moving tons of equipment every day.
Excuse me, your destination? Bagram. Bagram? Very Bagram.
Bagram is the one directly across from Donnie.
How much gas?
Okay, I let him to let us know on his last turn, but he said he thinks he can get 2 turns out today, and then he's going to have to head home.
We're actually doing something. We're actually making a huge difference.
Yeah, we're going up there to Musafirabad, get some of that there rice and flour.
Politically, it is making a huge difference because these people are seeing the American flag, bringing supplies to them, and we're not asking for anything. We're not taking anything back from them. They're really gracious with us. A lot of them, when you ask them certain questions like about the Taliban and things like that, they'll just say, "Oh, there's no Taliban. Do you see any Taliban around here?" I don't know. I don't know what one looks like. You know, there's not like a uniform that they wear.
Americans would be astounded. And there would be a house on the side of the mountain. A house like you would see at home. An 800 square foot house on the side of this mountain, and there's no roads for miles. And you think to yourself, how did they get the stuff there to build the house? You know, how did they get the roofing up there to put the roof on? You know, I mean, I put a roof on. That's heavy. And the way the mountains are terraced, you know, you think of Colorado and you think the mountain just slopes down. But here, over who knows however many thousand years, they've gradually cut the side of the mountain out and terraced the mountain. And, you know, they're growing plants and crops at 5, 6, 7,000 feet, you know, so they can survive. Some people don't have shoes. They live in the mountains and it's freezing cold and you get up there and I'm wearing 3 layers of clothes and they walk down with a pair of pants and, you know, they'll have sandals on.
And they're definitely blown away with a female pilot. The first question they asked me is if I was a Christian. I thought that was sweet. And then I said, so Betty, are you a pilot? I said, yes, and you should have seen their eyes. They were just like, wow, you know, a pilot. You know, they're just shocked that, you know, there was a female who was flying. And it happens everywhere we land. And the little girls, when you land in the LZs, we actually landed in Abbottabad. I had 2 little girls, one was 11, one was 14, I believe, ask me if I like flying, if I like being in the Army. And it just makes me think maybe the wheels are turning in their head. Maybe, you know, maybe that's would be something they want to do. You never know, things could change here as well. We might be, you know, all these miles apart, but we have a lot in common, you know, our lives and what's important to us. And every day you come home from work and it just really touches your heart, you know your job is saving lives. Living, breathing, helping people out, I'm really just naturally happy.
Sending pictures home of the places we go, and you know, those are getting passed around to family and friends, and they're just amazed at, you know, it's completely different than Iraq the first time around. The family in general, they're doing fantastic. Just bought a horse for my daughter.
Got off the phone with my wife last night. Now my daughter in Iraq, every now and then I get emails from her. Yeah, she emailed me the other night and said that she finally got her combat patch, so she's an official combat veteran now. She's pretty proud of that. She'll probably be home about September, because she left the first part of September, and she'll be back in September. So hopefully, if everything works right, we'll get home about the same time frame.
Sugar Ray Leonard, Steve Haitian, working behind the jazz.
When I arrived here, they were just getting the tents in, and hot water was a commodity. Food was pretty bad. It's getting better. It's getting a whole lot better. Got hot showers, got tents, electricity, internet.
And he's starting to swell.
Gym equipment, AFN, Armed Forces Network, so we can watch Monday Night Football, which is actually Tuesday morning football here.
I've got a nice plush pillow top mattress at home, and here I've got a little piece of foam about that big, so it's kind of uncomfortable, but you know, you deal with it.
Food's been pretty decent.
Nothing you can do about it.
We get rice and some kind of meat every night. It's better than living in a tent in the middle of the desert.
I'm surprised how well things are going. Things are moving along pretty smoothly. Everybody's kind of melded together and getting used to this where we're at. And aside from 1 or 2 depressed soldiers because of the holidays, things have been pretty good. It's typical. They're away from home, away from family. It's holiday season, so everybody's kind of getting a little down at times. And we counsel them and talk with them. I'm their father in a lot of ways, because I hand out discipline and correct them when they need to be corrected.
This is Sergeant Elizabeth Borick, stationed in Pakistan with Bravo Company 7 of the 158 Aviation. I want to wish my friends and family in St. Louis, Missouri, a happy holidays. I love you and I miss you very much.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
I didn't mess it up.
Take the recipe out.
It's really not that bad.
Okay.
We all get along pretty well. We talk, you know, we have a lot in common. And everybody's so busy doing their job. You know, we have maintenance people, we have POL, and we have the pilots all in one tent, female tent. And we're all so busy, there's not a whole lot of time.
Connect the latch, be careful when you go to pull it down because it'll snap.
Conditions were quite austere, if you will, for the aviation environment. Working basically without hangar space. We were working in the winter months in Pakistan, working out in the elements. Working every single day. Every aircraft that we had flew 8 hours a day.
Both of the AGPUs are down right now. We have no hydraulic purification. They got a brand new AGPU that won't even turn over, so it's a starter. So I told them, I'm like, take the starter off the other AGPU that won't hold pressure, put it on the brand new one, and you're fixed. So the hydraulics were like, well, we're not turbine mechanics. So I was like, give me some tools, and I'll go out there. It's a starter just like a starter on our engines.
Right.
Just change it over.
I wish they had stolen that oil pressure transmitter instead of
The supply system that was in place was designed to support a certain number of aircraft in Afghanistan. We came in a hurry, unforeseen, unannounced basically to some degree, and those parts are pushing forward now into Pakistan, and those parts are also supplying and supporting the war effort in Afghanistan for at least 2 other Chinook companies that I know of.
Yeah.
Hey, P-Man, can I have some parts off that thing?
We've got the expertise, we just make that system work for us, and when we get it here, we can go 24 hours a day.
I'll make it work. Huh? I'll make it work.
Bringing our unit together here, we got the best training environment to get us ready to go do our mission in Afghanistan. The terrain out there is real similar to what we may be flying. And we're sending out 8 aircraft a day, 8 crews a day, dealing with real live decisions and real world missions. Have to make decisions off of poor information and then come up with the right decision. It's quite challenging, but our guys are going to be well prepared when they get over to Afghanistan.
Afghanistan, I'm just really nervous about. The other day we hear about the 2 Chinooks that just went down from small arms fire or an RPG or something like that, and that's exactly where we're going. I've been with these guys for almost 4 years now. These are my buddies. Those guys all could have died in, what if these guys go down? Or what if it's me? I don't want to do it. You know, I've been thinking about, you know, just, I want to go back to maintenance. But, you know, as a soldier, you got to suck it up and just do your job. So we're supposed to head over there in sometime February, March. This makes me pretty nervous.
We don't know what to expect in Afghanistan just yet. I just hope we can make it through the whole deployment without losing anybody. That's my main worry and my main goal is to bring everybody back home. Because where we're going is a little more severe as far as the action and getting shot at as compared to in Bagram. And I'm just taking it day by day right now.
When the mission in Pakistan ended, Bravo Company deployed to the area of Afghanistan where the Taliban was most resurgent.
This started sometime yesterday and went through most of the night, and it's still going. They got Air Force jets overhead, they got attack helicopters out there, they got ground troops on the ground that got inserted, and it's still going on. If anybody doesn't understand the difference between humanitarian relief and an actual firefight, it won't take long. This morning we had to bring back the fellows that were killed in action yesterday. They lost 2 more last night. So at the end of our resupply this morning, we brought back their killed in action. And they'll be sent home out of this base here.
I go down to every one of the RAM ceremonies that they have. We have one roughly about once a week down there. I've got kids out here that think this is just garrison duty. They don't realize that this is really a combat zone. There is a sense of getting injured, shot, hurt here.
I volunteered to become a door gunner. I'll have a weapon and sit in the window. Some of the guys are pretty gung-ho. They want to do this because, you know, they want the experience or whatever. I have no illusions to why I'm here. They pay more money to be on the flight crew because it's a little more dangerous. So that's, you know, $200 a month, tax-free. I can't, you know, pass that up. So so that's why I'm here. But and if it came down to it, if it was me or them or one of my buddies or them, you know, I don't think that I would hesitate. I hope I wouldn't hesitate. I would do the right thing. But I hope I never get in that situation.
This morning, finding out about the soldiers who had fallen makes you just want to go get in the aircraft and go help out, do whatever you can, you know. Obviously, nothing will replace what we've lost, you know, as far as replacing them. That feeling will never be, the void will never be filled, but at least you can go out and do your part, you know. Nobody wants to stand here next to the flight line by the aircraft. We want to be in them, using them, helping out as much as we can.
This is a very dangerous place to fly. The wind never stops blowing here, it doesn't seem like. A lot of times there's not a place to land because you're in the mountains. And just because you get close to the ground doesn't mean you're going to get to see the ground when you get down there because of the brownout conditions. It's the desert. It's the high mountain desert. The train's always shifting, moving. In my opinion, the weather and terrain are more dangerous than the enemy. That being said, it's still a little nerving to know that somebody's out there that wants to shoot you at the same time.
Strangely enough, I'm completely comfortable. The more anxiety I have when it comes to flying, I'm fine. I'm calm. I love the mission. I love the aircraft. I love flying. Whatever's supposed to happen will happen. I have confidence in my ability to handle the situation. Somebody firing at you, or RPG or small arms, yeah, you think about that, but you're gonna react to it. Your training is gonna take care of you.
Are we going up over this register, sir? Yes, we should. Turning left.
You certainly need to be aware and be ready to react. But worrying about what might happen, I don't think will work for me.
How are you on dust landing? The area. Good to go, sir. Looks like the beat's smooth. If you need to do a go around, go out to the right and loop back around. That's pretty fast. The outline does. All right, just go ahead and make a right turn. Clear right. I don't do it. No. Take it out over there. And just take a look at it. See where the pad is down there? Yep. All right, loop around. Let's take a look on the way in.
Behind the Apache.
Yep. Right behind the Apache on this side. Not the Apache, excuse me, the Black Hawk. Roger, got insight. Fly it down. If you're uncomfortable, let me know. If you have to do anything, just pull it out and do a go around.
Roger.
My team on, going in. Okay, you want us to fly by that area? Our next stop is correct. You want us to fly by there? No, I think that's the correct one. I got it, we're on the brakes. We're down. How's your landing, ma'am? Thank you. I think I got a little compressed spine, but I can live with that.
That was smooth.
We're moving people, we're moving food, moving water. We're moving rocket tubes out here, barrier supplies, we're reinforcing these camps. We'll support the ground commander. I'll get it in the mud and the dust. I'll get it in the mountains. I'll get it in the snow. I'll get it wherever you need to get it.
One of the provinces has been taken over by the Taliban. They've evicted the governor. The governor fled. We're bringing in special forces, and they're going to retake the town. These guys are the reinforcement package after they take control of the village. We are Patriot 5-0. We're going to have 27 U.S. infantry. We're going to have a major who is going to be the ground force commander, Sergeant Callis, who I believe is the JTAC, and we're also going to have a medic on board, Sergeant First Class Hines. So the event we go down, find that guy, and make sure he stays with us.
You're going in there and you're putting these operators on the ground, and then you go into and get them out. If they say come and get us, we know people are shooting at them. When we get there, they'll shoot at us.
We'll be the lead aircraft in the second serial out of here. We'll have a 60 and 247s in front of us. We'll be the first aircraft into our LZ.
They have to be prepared to defend themselves, defend that aircraft and that crew, which means they may have to shoot people. That, of course, entails a certain emotion and a certain mindset that normally they don't have. The worst case scenario, this could have some very, very fatal consequences for somebody. That's just the nature of war.
Guys, the only thing I want to hear out of you guys is if you're taking effective fire. If you're taking effective fire, what direction so I can return it?
It's a very hostile, it's a very violent environment. The adventure part's over. I need people with their heads in the game, knowing that this is a very, very violent situation that we're in.
The op tempo is it's a little bit higher than in Pakistan. The requirements are a little more strenuous. We're running a combat mission here, so the aircraft have to be flyable, which puts a little more pressure on us to fix them more efficiently and quicker. And after all the hours that we flew in Pakistan, the maintenance is catching up with us now. We're having a lot of aircraft faults come up that were going to happen eventually, but the airframes are getting tired. It's been over 3,000 hours and they need some work done on them. We're trying to get them in and get them out as fast as possible, and that's what everybody wants.
We've been going so strong, 100% all the time. Remarkably, I have not seen it affect the performance at all of anybody here.
No guess it's 7A.
The mechanics are working 12-hour shifts.
Hey, Sergeant Chase said hurry up, he's gotta get to the after.
Avionics, electricians, and sheet metals are working 3 9-hour shifts. There's no downtime. When they're not working, they're recuperating.
You gonna be up there a while?
Oh, a couple minutes.
There's always that stigma that you're an Army Reserve soldier as the backup. And, you know, my 2 tours over here, one in Iraq, one here, you know, we've exceeded every goal that was put towards us by our higher headquarters. We've worked well with the active duty guys. And those active duty guys who have worked with us have finally, those specific people have finally figured, you know, hey, these guys are really good at what they do.
I think our work pretty much speaks for itself. We've been really doing a lot of work, and it's showing. So I think that they, I guess right now we're supposed to be one of the top units in the military, and other people are sending their birds to us, so that kind of tells you where we stand.
We've continued to be able to put up 9, 10, 11 aircraft every day for 7 months. We got some figures the other day from Army Reserve Command, said that this unit has the highest op tempo and also has the highest OR, operational readiness rate, Army-wide, worldwide, of any unit.
The Pentagon's trying to figure out how a reserve unit from Kansas can fly as much as we're flying and keep the aircraft in as good a shape as they are. I don't really have an answer other than long hours and hard work. I've been around a long time, and I've seen a lot of units that think they're working hard when they're not. And, you know, these guys just work hard.
We're going to fly more airframes here, and it's going to get harder, and it's going to get testier, and it's going to get nastier. Maybe we're getting tired. I am. I'm telling you. I'm going to guarantee you. I'm the first one to speak up. I am wore out. If I think that I've got an issue, I won't get in the cockpit because I have the same responsibility that you have. You have the responsibility to give me safe airplanes. I have the responsibility to deliver it back here in one piece. We have one job. That's to support the ground commander. Everybody in this unit has one function only, to launch these pieces of iron into the sky. That is our job. That is what everybody here gets paid for. You're not on drill weekend, so you can't be bitching and moaning about not doing your job on drill weekend. This is the real deal. Now you're in it, okay? But you got to tell me where you are. This is not an adventure, folks, and people can get very, very dead, and dead is a very, very long time problem. Senior NCOs, you heard what I told everybody. Don't cut corners on me. If you can do it in a day, you do it in a day. But don't bull. Don't sit there and tell me you need 4 days when you can do it in a day, safely and correctly, because I need these machines. The only way that I can support these kids in the field is with these hunks of iron flying, and you gotta deliver. Think smart, work smart. Senior leaders, don't let me down.
Patriot 36 on 1, Patriot 36 on 2, and Patriot 36 on 3. Patriot 37 on 1. Patriot 37 on 2. Patriot 37 on 3.
Every mission's dangerous, inherently dangerous. In the last 2.5 months, I've done about 8 deliberate ops, hauling gunfighters to a gunfight, basically.
ACM are trying to blow up a dam. We're just going to insert these guys to reinforce. There's been troops in contact out there all afternoon. Expect small arms, RPG, and possibly surface-to-air missiles. The Chinooks got the shot at him when I was on the last deployment.
Agent 36 tags the previous requested altimeter 1095 winds estimated 270 at 6 runway 23 news.
3 roll. Blackouts are on the go. Apaches are going second. 2 Apaches, 1 to our rear, and then we're last. Roger that, the 1 to our rear is already taken off. Clear more left. High brakes loaded. 36 to forward right. You want to go back to 100%? Brakes. Yeah, we'll get it. We're rolling without it. We're good.
Right, hold down to 1 left, coming station, say again.
Let's go get them. Roger that, let's take it to them. Okay, 26 is off, here we go. 36. Clear up right and overhead. Clear up left, good break. Coming up. Right, good lane. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, clear plane. Temperature good, torque is at 72, 74. How much daylight do we have left? We got about 35 minutes of sunlight left, guys. The sun is going to be miserable all the way out there. We're going to fight it all the way. Yes, sir. Hopefully we'll hit the LZ in daylight. I guess you're on contact point, so verify LZ. Not yet, I don't have enough airspeed. Roger. Right on same page. Pull it in. Countermeasures coming armed. Safety pistol route is here. Big. CMOS is armed. You take fire, you return effective fire on the target. Always return fire. They're shooting at us, right? Absolutely, brother. Aces 26, Aces 3, 2 use. The thing we need now is a ride to the Valkyries flying. Yeah, really. Does that help, sir? You're not Wagner. Damn it. Hey, sir. Yeah, I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Yeah, really. Okay, this is where it gets ugly, boys. Roger that. We are in Indian country. Roger. Is the Apache up behind us? Yes, they are. Okay. Slide left, clear left. Come left, clear left. Keep an eye on these hillsides. Aces 26, Aces already doing it. Roger that, boss. 26. Yes, 3, 2, 8, if we can figure out a unit. Negative.
As far as the overall mission in Afghanistan for America, I have no idea what we're doing. I understand what we're trying to do, and it's slowly morphing into something that's different than how it began. It began as a war, us versus the Taliban, taking out this terrorist regime, as the president always says. But eventually it gets to a point where, even though they don't call us an occupying force, it kind of seems that way. So are we winning of hearts and minds? I think that's what they're trying to do today. Or are we fighting someone? Or, you know, that's more for people that make more money than me, I think.
I try not to burden myself with thinking of foreign policy. I got my own job to do, and if I don't stay focused on that, then I put people's lives in danger. You just have to trust the soldiers and politicians and government officials above me. And that's part of the oath we take, that we'll do what they say.
There's a funny saying, you know, that you're here to uphold democracy, not practice it when you're in the military, you know. Because nobody wants to go get shot at. I mean, if I told you I want you to go out there and get shot at, you're going to be like, I don't think so, you know. We do what we're told.
The rockets started coming shortly after we got here, and the mortars. And it's just a sound that it makes before it impacts that it's probably a sound that I'll never forget. This was found on Memorial Day. Shrapnel was thrown all over the area. I mean, this piece of metal could probably rip you up pretty good. It's been happening pretty frequently. I haven't told anybody back home about it because I didn't want anybody to worry about it. So it's just kind of one of those things you kind of keep to yourself and talk to your buddies about.
A large number of people really don't even realize soldiers are here anymore. I mean, they've almost called Afghanistan a forgotten war because everything is geared more towards Iraq, and the families that are involved in it pretty much stay as a group rather than make a big deal out of it. Like our family support, they just stay together and work as a group, whereas the larger share of the community don't even realize there are people out of the community gone.
All right, Stacy, that's probably enough.
Is it?
Yeah, you can let the kids eat those or whatever.
Okay.
Maybe once every 2 weeks he calls. And he is very busy, I know he is. The girls and I, we kind of stick together when he's gone. Take it day by day. I have to take treats tomorrow for somebody's birthday, Sherry's birthday tomorrow at school. So I'm getting ready to make that. You want to make that? I'm ready for it to be over. It seems like this time it's dragging. Last time it kind of went fairly fast. And the girls are changing so much because they're at that age, you know. Logan is 12 now and Andy just turned 10, and they're just at that age where they change so much. And now Logan's taller than I am. And so, you know, when he left, that so wasn't the case. So it's hard for me to, because I know that he's missing out on so much neat stuff that they're doing.
Compared to living in the States, it's a simple life. You go to work, you go to bed, you go to work, and you go to bed. You don't have to worry about making sure that you've been to the gas station so you got enough gas in your car. There is no place to go. You go to work, you go home. We've been doing it now, going on our 8th month. People they're getting worn out. And I'm hoping the more tired they get, the more diligent they are about taking care of their aircraft, getting a proper weather brief and a crew brief, and taking care of the soldier next to you. I see a lot of that. We're trying to take care of each other, and it's working pretty well.
Stain egg 29.
I was requested by name to go work in the Tactical Operations Center.
I really wanted to fly today. I think I'm going to be depressed as hell when I come back, though.
Why?
You know why?
Oh. It's been 16 days, and I don't wear a desk or a computer very well. All right. I understand that this is where I need to be. This is an important piece, and they're working for me. I've let the command know. They want me to be able to fly every 10 days so I can get my fix.
Resupply mission is going to be a go for the route we were originally going to do this morning, sir. Hour and a half, we're going to resupply Wolf and Duresh for the stuff that got shot up last night. I just got that from the battle captain. I have one spare pilot, that's it.
Oh, you had them.
Gurdon.
You're always going to have stronger soldiers and stronger performers in any profession. That's up to the first line leaders to pick his stellar performers or his stronger performers and let them shine, and the ones who aren't quite so stellar, that's where you get into the mentorship process and teach them how to move up to that next bar.
I usually go through and do that after.
It's always a learning process.
But I'll do it now. It makes you happy, you know, whatever. I'm here for you.
And we're here for ops. Yeah, apparently.
The deployment isn't grinding me down. I've done a lot of soul searching. My parents split up when I was young. I was always really strained. My goal in life is I want to be a good dad. I want to make sure that me and my wife stay together and my kids have a good home life. I missed my wife before, on the last deployment, of course I missed her every day. And before Kale was born, I missed her, but, when I went home and met my son and, he changed my life. Yeah, that every day now, it's like every day when I wake up, that's, they're the first things that I think of. And I don't know, I guess it's harder now because it seems like the days drag on a little bit more, because I know I've got at least 5 months before I can get back home to them. And, it just, the 2 weeks that I had wasn't enough.
You get pretty busy flying around. It's a pretty interesting job. When you work, you really, really work. Pushing 3,000 and 4,000 pound pallets out the back, 7 days a week, and sometimes without breaks for 3 and 4 weeks at a time.
Okay, we have 2 detainees coming on board, no guards, no. Oh. No guards? No guards. It's going to collide. They start acting up there, going out the back.
Getting pretty burnt out. Missing home pretty bad. Not liking that a lot. Mandy's missing me quite a bit. Baby girl's getting bigger. And I can't be home and be a daddy right now, so, which is pretty hard. I get to thinking about it.
They are getting tired. You can see it. They're a little more edgier than what they used to be. The other night I had to break up almost a fist fight in one of the rooms because they'd just been too close together too long. Try to solve the problems, let them have fun. Like the other day with the maintenance platoon where they just had a pizza party and water fight. Just give them something to ease the tension for a while.
12 to 14-hour days. A female in a very male-dominated business. I can't go anywhere or do anything without hearing about it from somewhere else. Hey, we saw you running this morning, Constantly being watched. I am a soldier, not a female soldier.
I really don't have a concern that somebody's going to lay down and quit. Some people are starting to crack a little bit under the pressure, and his peers around him, the other 2 links around him, have to, step in and say, "You doing okay? What can we do? Hey, why don't you go get a cup of coffee?"
Get right on there, buddy. Yeah. Come on. Come on.
We've got, 4 months left? Close to finishing up, but yet it's so far out that you can't really think about it too much. And I think that weighs a lot on people's minds.
I wouldn't have wanted to miss my baby's birth for anything in the world. I did get to spend 6 days with him. It was very difficult leaving. To see him and my wife at the airport crying, and it was unusually difficult. Like I said, it was probably one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. However, we do keep in contact. We talk and every day, and I get to see him on the internet. So he's growing, healthy, and always happy that I can go back home and tell them both that I'm here, I'm back.
The kids are staying busy, you know. They've got the hardest job. I've got the most dangerous, but they've got the hardest. You know, talking to my wife, the drain gets clogged, or she needs a new washer and dryer, or whatever. I'm not there to help. Her tasks and my tasks, she now has to do them all. And still maintain her job. She's holding up well. She's a trooper. I can tell when she's having a bad day, but you know, if she has one of those days when she snaps, she's not gonna tell me. She won't email me, just like I don't email her. You know, it's one of those, if I don't know, then I don't worry.
He called and I cried, and he was like, "What's the matter? What's the matter?" And I was like, "Nothing." It was Easter. On Easter Sunday, when he called, I cried. And he's like, "Is everything okay?" I said, "Everything's fine." He goes, "Why are you crying?" And I said, "Because it's Easter, and you're there." And he said, "Are you sure everything's okay? Let me talk to the girls." You know, he didn't believe me because I just don't do that, ever. But Easter was hard. And I don't really know why Easter was so hard this year. I just think it just kind of everything came to a head about doing stuff without him. My aunt had an Easter egg hunt for him, and he wasn't there, and all that kind of stuff. It was hard.
There's going to be some changes. I've had a great time in the Army. I've learned a lot, grown up, seen the world. I want to go and do a job where I don't have to deal with this extra stress because I'm a female.
And when I leave here, I'm going to go back to working in the shop. The more I fly, the less I want to be a pilot. I have to stay in the Army Reserve to keep my civilian job, so I've got 32 years to retirement. I know that sounds so horrible, but and I don't want to stay enlisted, but I've pretty much decided I don't want to be a Chinook pilot. It's such a cliche. People say, you know, oh, when you have kids, it change your life, but it's so amazing. I don't want to go away from him for another year and a half, so flight school is pretty much out of the question for me. I'm more a family man than I thought I was gonna be.
It won't be long, you'll be back there.
We don't want to be apart for a year again. So after going to Qatar and knowing what kind of facilities the Air Force has, you know, we're thinking about going that route.
Book's open, ready to go.
They get out there and they have an Olympic-sized swimming pool in the middle of the desert, with a Dairy Queen attached to it, with real ice cream. So I was, yeah, pretty impressed.
It appears at this point to be a little over 6 hours. Chalk 1 to be base altitude plus 1,000, or yeah, plus 1,000. And then the airspeeds are applicable. All right, see you on the radios.
Have the second half of our map. Thank you, sir.
Army Reserve's been pretty good to me. My goal is another 10 years, 9 years. I'd like to make one more promotion, which would make me 45. I think that's plenty. It'd be 23 years of Army service. Plenty of time.
My job is to bring these people home, every single one of them. I go back from this, I'll probably retire. But you know what? I got a mission to fly today, and I've got a job to accomplish. So next October, we'll be back in the States drinking beer, talking about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've waited a year. That all ends now as your Operation Enduring Freedom heroes are welcomed home.
Dismissed.
You're getting big, huh? Yes, you are getting big, aren't you?
Find interactive maps, discussion guides, and more about America at a Crossroads at pbs.org. funding for America at a Crossroads was provided by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
PKT's on rise, going through about almost 500.
To order this episode of America at a Crossroads or other programs from the series on DVD, call 1-800-PLAY-PBS.